What's up, y'all? I just want to get on here and, post a little another yap sesh, kind of get some more content out there. But, topic I really want to go over today is the scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset lives in every human being no matter what age, It's all about how you can get around it and get past it, okay? But majority of people have this one problem, is scarcity. Scarcity about money, scarcity about finding their partner, scarcity about getting the life they want to live, or certain things, but they think it's such a finite resource for money or finding the love of their life or building the life they want. They think it's such a scarce idea that they choose to give up on it. They choose to fall into that mindset and continue to move with that mindset for years and years and years. And granted, some people might be born with that mindset growing up in poverty. I get it, but as a human being, everything is learnable. Everything bad, every kind of bad aspect that you have in your life can be changed with the power of your own mind. You literally have the power of abundance and change at your own fingertips. A lot of people don't know that, whether you believe in God or not, God has given you life on earth, given you the ability to experience life, to build a life nonetheless. And to think that people aren't scarce of having these resources. There's 7 to 8 billion people in this world. You will run across a handful of people that you are compatible with. Believe me, there's probably one person that you truly feel locked in with. That is your one, okay? But believe me, it's not a scarce thing. Money, it's not scarce. Money's being printed every single day, okay? People that fall into that scarcity mindset with these certain things and values stay there the rest of their lives, okay? And unfortunately, those are the people that, if you think oppositely, you cannot help. Those are the people that need to do it themselves and get out of that hole themselves. Okay, but they think it's some finite resource that they cannot obtain, They think money is next to impossible to get. I get it. If you're born into poverty, that's just what you grew up with. You've been poor, and granted, the reason why you're broke and have been continuously becoming broke or even, in debt, whatever it may be, is because, I'll just say it, you're not giving back into the world, okay? That's the reason why you're broke, okay? You give back into the world, you give abundance back into the world, everything will come back tenfold, whether you believe in God or not, okay? But you are losing and wasting your time sitting here believing those things are scarce resources, okay? The most scarce resource that we have as of this point is the idea of time. You cannot get time back. There's nothing you can do to get time back. People even sit there and dwell on the past thinking, I could have done this differently, I could have done that differently. And they are spending their own time thinking about the past, regretting the past, trying to figure out what they could have done differently. That just goes to show how scarce time is, People are worried about the wrong stuff. Genuinely worried about the wrong stuff. Hell, I'll be honest, from the ages of probably 14 to 18 maybe, I had a scarce mindset. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, granted, I had a good life. I'm not saying, I was raised into poverty, but that's just how I thought, okay? And I was able to unlearn that and move forward, and now I have 2 businesses, okay? And it's just a mindset that it's difficult to unlearn. I'm not saying it's easy. It's easier said than done. But if you move on a day-to-day basis, not even move, but give abundance back into the world, you'll get that back tenfold, okay? People that are born into poverty, okay? People that are born into poverty are raised in poverty and give back poverty-wise into the world. People that are born into abundance, okay? They're around abundance, all that stuff, and they give abundance back into the world, okay? Vice versa, okay? On both ends, there's a select few of people who were raised into poverty and gave abundance into the world and became something of themselves because they knew that they could change that idea and aspect of their life, okay? They understood that. And they understood, nonetheless, that time is a finite resource. So if they sit there and dwell on the things that they don't have, you're wasting all your time. Money is printed every single day. And I've said it again, there's 78 billion people in this world. Okay? It should be no problem to get those things, okay? Those are the least of your worries. Okay? Time is the most important value that we hold on this earth. And if you deeply really understand that God has blessed us with abundance and the willpower to change and do things, how would you move? How would you go through on a day-to-day basis knowing that God has given you this power at your fingertips? You would completely change your day-to-day process. You would go out and do things that you thought once you couldn't do. You would go talk to that one girl or guy that, you thought that you really liked, but you thought they didn't like you. And even if they shoot you down, even if your business opportunity, goes to shit, let's say you go bankrupt, so be it. The money's always going to come back. The people, the relationships are always going to be there. Granted, I'm the same way. I think that there's one person in the world for me and that's it, but I don't think like that as much, because I know my time is more valuable than money and the person that is for me. At this very moment, I'm not saying forever, at this very moment, okay? But you need to open up your eyes and realize this possibility that you have at your own fingertips and what you can do with it. Because you are broke simply because you are not providing value. You are not providing stuff to give back into the world, okay? Money flows to the people who get out of that get out of that, that scarcity mindset and can move forward and build and create, okay? But of course, if you take, money's not going to come to you, and you're just going to be wondering, why this is happening, why that's happening. No. It's a scarcity mindset. And that's the main point I want to get across with this video. And yeah, that's just my little yap sesh. But move more on a day-to-day basis, knowing the abundance, knowing the value that you can bring into the world, and be more worried about the time you have here and the time that you're using, because that's the thing. You might think you have the time, but you really don't. So you have to manage your time and use your time properly, okay? But think about it. If you move that way, easier said than done, but if you move that way, think about how better your life will be. All the money, the relationship you want, the person you want, the life that you want will all come towards you as soon as you start moving with abundance. Simple as that. But that's just what was on my dome today. Probably put out some more content, but see you on the next one.